Michael Saylor has just turned on the Bitcoin ATM. Let's take a look at what exactly he has just announced today, also going over what is going on and why Bitcoin is pumping today. Welcome back to the channel. This is Bitcoin to 1 million. Now guys, I strongly recommend you watch yesterday's video that I made. I called it Trump nukes Bitcoin, because he more or less just ruined America's credibility in war, and he's kind of backtracking on what he's doing right now. So we're gonna take a look at what exactly happened. Welcome back. Okay guys, now Bitcoin is at $71,000 right now. Why or how did this happen, especially considering what happened yesterday? So quick little, I guess, news flash update. Trump gave a 48-hour deadline and said, hey, if the Strait of Hormuz, and again, this is the whole Iran-Israel conflict, if it isn't opened in 48 hours, they're going to rain hell on Iran. Then today in the morning, he said, oh, there has been negotiations and now we're good, everything is fine, Iran has agreed to open the strait. But Iran then went and said, hey, that actually didn't happen, we are not going to open the strait, we're going to close the strait, we want all the smoke. So a lot of confusion. Trump more or less just lied to everyone. There's a lot of shit going on right now in the world, guys. And again, this isn't a political channel. But again, if you do want to hear more about my take on the war, go watch yesterday's video, okay? Regardless, let's talk about Bitcoin and Saylor now. So, Trump basically said everything is fine. The market reacted very positively and everything started to pump. But the market doesn't realize that Trump lied and that the war is still going on. So that's very interesting. I don't know why that is. Now, what did Saylor say? So, MicroStrategy discovers the infinite money glitch again. So they now have a new $42 billion master plan, right? Which is nuts. So they have issued $21 billion in perpetual preferred stock, legally committing to pay a $2.4 billion annual dividend. They now use the cash to buy Bitcoin, a pristine asset that but one that also generates absolutely no native yield. Now they realize that the underlying software business generates nowhere near enough cash to cover these massive new dividend obligations. So what they do is they pay the old investors their yield using fresh capital raised by selling more stock to new investors. Now, do you want to call this a pyramid scheme? Maybe. Is it a Ponzi? I get it, but let's go a bit deeper. Okay, so there's two new ATM programs, $21 billion for Stretch and $21 billion for Strategy, $42 billion in total new firepower. So this is a quick breakdown because again, on surface level, this looks like a complete Ponzi pyramid scheme scam, but when you actually dig deeper, you start to understand what it is. So ATM, by the way, stands for at the market. It means Strategy can sell new shares directly into the open market at current prices whenever they want at whatever pace they choose. Now, no big fundraising round is needed. Yeah, speaking English today, I don't know what it is. No negotiation, just sell shares, get cash, buy Bitcoin instantly. So here's how the two ATMs work together. Now these aren't two separate programs, they're two gears of the same machine. So gear one is the Stretch ATM. So Stretch is Strategy's preferred stock. It pays 11.5% yield monthly and is designed to trade at exactly $100. Now, when demand pushes it to 100, Saylor issues new shares at that price, takes the cash, and buys Bitcoin. Right now, the Strategy ATM, every time Saylor sells Stretch, he's adding leverage. Now, to keep leverage stable at around 33%, he sells MicroStrategy common stock and uses those proceeds to buy even more Bitcoin. Okay, so the whole 33% here, this is where things get interesting. So for every $1 of Stretch issued, roughly $3 worth of Bitcoin gets added to the treasury. How is that possible? Well, $1 from Stretch buys $1 of Bitcoin. Then $2 of Strategy gets sold to buy $2 more Bitcoin and bring leverage back down. So this is kind of how the whole Ponzi-nomics makes sense and doesn't really classify as a Ponzi, if that makes sense. Okay. Now again, I get it, this is completely confusing, but more or less, guys, to make it super simple, you sell stock, you get money from stock, you go buy Bitcoin. Okay. That's like literally the most dumbed down monkey brain way to explain it, okay? Now, net result, $1 in equals $3 of Bitcoin purchase. So what does 42 billion in new ATM capacity actually mean? Well, last week, Stretch was trading $300 to $400 million per day in volume, and about 40% of that was new issuance from Saylor. So about 120 to 160 million per day going directly into Bitcoin purchases, okay? Now, he just tripled the runway. So now there's $21 billion in fresh Stretch capacity and $21 billion in fresh MicroStrategy capacity. So again, at current pace, that's years of buying power, right? And he could be buying $500 million plus of Bitcoin per week. So yeah, again, the flywheel, there's Stretch demand, right? Because people want to buy Stretch to get that 11.5% yield. New shares issued, Bitcoin purchased, leverage rises, Strategy shares sold, more Bitcoin purchased, leverage falls back to 33%, Bitcoin per share increases, MicroStrategy price holds, repeat, okay? Pretty freaking interesting. Now, Michael Saylor also has a whole press release talking about all this, guys. So if you do want to go read more about this, you guys can go ahead and check it out because, yeah, there's a lot of information there. Now, Strategy also announced that they have acquired 1,031 Bitcoin, a small baby purchase for their standards, $76 million worth and purchased at $74,000. So, yeah, there's that as well. They are still purchasing at prices above Bitcoin's trading value, but hey, it is what it is. Now, let's talk more about Saylor real quick. So there's now a 96% chance that Michael Saylor's strategy holds over 800,000 Bitcoin on its balance sheet by the end of the year. Now, I definitely do think that 1 million Bitcoin for strategy is gonna happen. Probably around this time next year. It could even be a reality, which is nuts to think about as well. Some more things, guys, for the war side of things. Bitcoin has now outperformed gold and the S&P 500 since the start of the US/Iran conflict. That's pretty interesting to see as well. And finally, guys, some more bullish news before we end off the video. Florida is introducing a bill again to have a strategic Bitcoin reserve, allowing up to 10% of key public funds to hold Bitcoin in ETFs. This was a bill that basically failed to go through last year, but looks like they're still trying to get this to happen. But guys, that is going to be it. This week is going to be pretty volatile. I do expect a lot of random crazy news. Hopefully no nukes are involved because that'd be pretty bad. And we're probably going to see some more red Bitcoin days, but that is what it is. Make sure you guys subscribe if you did enjoy this video, leave a like, all that good stuff. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.